right, welcome back. It's time to get back to work. Hope everyone's Christmas and their holidays have been festive and very enjoyable. I hope everyone is safe and I hope everyone is filled with a ton of joy. But it is time to get back to work. And one of the things that I am thankful and grateful for is that I have managed to live my life pretty safe. I take pride in that. I've managed to live my life pretty safe. When I was younger and I was coming up and I was starting to become of age, right? My mom had a conversation with me and she said, whatever you do, do not spread your seed out here in the world. And so I took that to heart and I said, you know what? I did not want to disappoint my mom. Regardless of whatever I did, I never wanted to disappoint my mom. So I never wanted to bring home an unwanted child. I never wanted to go out here and get some chick pregnant at 16, 17, 18 years old while I'm still in school. I'm still a young man, still don't know nothing about the world. I never wanted to be that person, and I never was, thankfully. But I said all that to say that one of the things that I'm proud of is the fact that I've never put myself in a situation where I could be severely impacted by the decisions that I've made in my sexual life. Now, I've never had any diseases. I've never had any unwanted kids, children, etc. And I remember in high school particularly, we all knew. Like, everyone knew in high school. We all knew the bust down chick, right? We all knew the chick that would do anything. We all knew the chicks that was in the bathroom, servicing dudes or whatnot. We all knew. It was like school-wide, right? It was like a memo had been sent out, right? But it was a memo that was just through conversations. You knew what chick was what. You knew where to go and who to go to if you wanted something, Now, in school, I was a nerd, right? So I was not thinking about sexual activity pretty much at all. I had a girlfriend, and there's a couple times where, we was kissing and stuff got a little hot and heavy. So then, but otherwise, I was never one of those people or one of those guys that was out here like, man, I gotta get it. I can't graduate a virgin. I gotta get my virginity taken before I graduate. That was never me. And it never happened, right? It didn't happen. I didn't end up getting involved in those type of relations and that type of activity until I got married. And so I said all that to say that we need to be better at telling our children, especially our young boys and our young men, of the dangers that are out here that are associated with just flagrantly throwing themselves and throwing their bodies and putting their bodies out here and just sticking anything and moving, because it's very dangerous. Our daughters too, right? But that's daughters are pretty much coveted, especially by fathers. Usually, anyway, daughters are coveted by fathers. So at some point, daughters usually get that talk that, listen, you got to be careful. You got to protect yourself. You got to go out. Be wary of dudes that's trying to get after you because of one thing, et cetera, right? But I feel like for our boys, for our young men that are coming up, we don't have those conversations as often because somehow along the way, in our minds, we got it to where it's like the more females our sons bust down, it's like a badge of honor. In our community, it's like wearing a badge of honor. It's like, yeah, you get into it. Like I've literally seen it with my own and heard it with my own eyes and ears. I've seen this type of activity, this type of chemistry, this type of back and forth between father and son, where the father is happy that the son is out here busting down random chicks on the block, right? But I said all that to listen. We have to change the way we think. One of the things I pride myself on this channel is that everyone that has followed me, all 2.2 2.2 thousand subscribers, or however many it is right now. I pride myself on y'all following me for the content that I put out. I pride myself on creating a following that is completely organic, right? I've paid nobody to follow me, and I love y'all for that. I love the fact that I have organic followers, people that follow me because they're interested in what I have to say, and they check in with me. Sometimes they check me, sometimes whatever it is. But I am genuinely proud of the following that I built, because with that, I'm able to talk about a range of topics. I'm able to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I don't have to be pushed into or backed into a corner where I have to only talk about specific things. And that's what I wanted to build my channel up. At first, it started out as finance. I know some of y'all that's been with me from day one. You were there with me when I started out. But listen, the world is so much more than just finance. Communities and building life. Life is just so much more than money. And yes, I believe everything comes back down to the money eventually. But there's just other lessons that I think that I'm able to offer up to my viewers and be helpful. And if I can do that and impact 1 or 2 or 3 people, however many it is, then great. I'm doing my job. I'm on my purpose, right? And so right now, we're going to get into an article. This young dude, 5-star recruit, football player, burgeoning star. He was destined for greatness, and then he just throws it all away. Let's read the article first, though. First, let's get into this headline. Alabama offensive lineman Elijah Pritchett arrested and charged with knowingly spreading STDs. So you out here busting chicks down. You out here on a bust down tour, knowing that you got that burn. That is wild. That is crazy. And that is egregious. Alabama offensive lineman Elijah Pritchett has been arrested and charged with knowingly spreading a sexually transmitted disease. And I was able to find a small article on it. This article is weird because they start talking about they start off talking about the STD. But then it starts going off into his stat line and his stats from, like, what are we doing here? That alone tells you the state of our economy socially. We care more about his numbers than we do this dude fraudulently spreading around an STD disease that is incurable. I want to read some of the comments before we get out. Before we get to the article, it says, shout out to the woman with a low body count. I don't trust the soul. Health is wealth. Don't let these guys hit raw. Listen, fellas, you're going to be mad at me, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to echo that same sentiment. Females, young ladies, do not let these dudes, especially someone who you have no connection with, you don't know, you just met him a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, you have no history to go off of. Do not let these dudes smash you raw. You are literally putting your body and your life at risk and your future, right? Says, they bogus for spreading his information on social media. And this right here, this dude is a fucking loser. This dude is a fucking loser. He said they're bogus for spreading his information on social media. Motherfucker, I want his information spreaded. Because the more people that know about this clown, the better. The more people and the women that get a heads up on this dude, the better. Why would you want to keep... See, this is the problem. This is the problem. This type of mentality, this type of thought process is the fucking problem in the black community. This motherfucker is worried more so about him getting doxxed than him actually being out here and active and spreading a sexually transmitted disease. Can you believe it? It's insane. No, it's the bogus part is him being out here sleeping and busting chicks down, knowing that he got a disease and not giving a shit. I'm telling y'all, protect yourselves. She says, yep, that's why I keep my legs at 6:30. Good for her. This person says, I've only heard of one STD you can get locked up for in this situation. I hope I'm wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. In the state of Alabama, where this took place, I believe there is only one. There is only one disease that you can get locked up for spreading, for knowingly spreading, and it's HIV. It's that Magic Johnson special. Let's get to the article. So it says an Alabama football player was reportedly arrested for allegedly knowingly spreading an STD. Elijah Pritchett, an offensive lineman, was put into custody on Wednesday in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Pritchett, 19 years old, 19, was released on a $500 bond after a report had been filed against him on December 13th. Gotta drink some water. I'm a little under the weather. "19 years old. If I was this kid's father, I would absolutely be embarrassed. No lie. I would absolutely be embarrassed. I would feel like a complete failure that I failed my son and that I failed my community because he's running through chicks, knowingly spreading an STD. It says that a warrant was obtained under state code that reads, any person afflicted with a sexually transmitted disease who shall knowingly transmit or assume the risk of transmitting or do any act which will probably or likely transmit such disease to another person. So that is the code right there. So they're basically saying, look, you knew you had the disease and you were knowingly spreading it. And again, we're not talking about something you can just get rid of. We're not talking about chlamydia, or we're not talking about, the clap. We're not talking about herpes. No, we're talking about something that you cannot, that is incurable, that is life changing. That is HIV. Okay, they don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. They don't want to say it. They still want to protect this kid for whatever reason. But I'm gonna tell y'all. It says the charge is a Class C misdemeanor in the state of Alabama. Pritchett could spend 3 months in jail or pay fines of up to $500. And I'm assuming that's for each case. But to me, in my opinion, that's not enough. What the hell is $500? What the hell is 3 months in jail? Right? You have changed people's lives forever. You have impacted lives forever. And that is why it is important. It is important to go through the process of vetting the people that you choose to lay down with. Ladies, gentlemen, because y'all listen, the men are at risk just as much as the women are. Okay? There are women going around spreading shit just like there are men. None of you are safe. None of you are safe. Go ahead and strap that shit up. And if you're not going to strap it up, then just abstain from it. But y'all not going to listen. It says neither the Tuscaloosa Police Department nor the University of Alabama immediately responded to emails on Saturday afternoon. He had split time with, and this is when it starts getting weird. They start talking about his fucking football career. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then the article just ends with that. It ends with them talking about his football career. But listen, nobody gives a fuck about his football career. You out here giving young females and young women an incurable disease. That should be the focal point of this entire article, but it's not. That lets you know the state that we're in as an economy. That lets you know the state that we're in as a community, where we care more about stats and numbers than we do somebody actively destroying lives out here. Wrap that shit up, gentlemen. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. If you're not going to wrap it up, then abstain from it. I promise you, if you heed my warning, if you take my words to heart, and if you look at articles and examples like this, and you say, you know what, I'm going to use this as a learning tool to determine how I'm going to live out the rest of my life. If you do that, I promise you, in the end, you will thank me and you'll thank yourself, right? You'll be safe, and you'll have an ease of mind knowing that you're clean, you're free of disease, you're free to move however you want, right? You can get into any relationship and not have to worry about dragging in some. Listen, incurable diseases like this are life-changing. Nobody wants to be with someone who has a disease that they cannot get rid of, that is life-altering, and he has destroyed lives at the end of the day. Fellas, ladies, wrap it up. Ladies, if your dude don't want to wrap it up, if he say that's weak or that's lame, kick his ass out the door. Because at the end of the day, you are the one responsible for your own body. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Yeah. It's raw.